All right, shut up, Greg.
It's going to be shit, though.
Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr, and an illustrious panel of people who Jessica had to drive about 20 minutes to get a fresh beer. Anyway, so yeah, speaking of which, tonight we're going to take a look at Collective Arts Rhyme and Reason from Hamilton, Ontario. Before we get started on the beer, let's go over to our panel, and I'm glad you made it, Redbeard.
Happy to make it too. I had to go a little faster than I wanted to go when traveling to the LCBO and back to make it on time, but I made it. Hooray. Cheers, everybody.
Nice. Glad that you could actually join us with the correct beer.
Quite happy myself.
Like literally we're like, it's 9 o'clock and you're like, oh crap, we were supposed to do that this week.
Yep.
I still only bought next week's beer in advance.
On the ball.
All right. Moving along to the next one, we've got all the way from the UK who managed to get a can as well. We've got Craig from Kent Beer Reviews. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Picked this up a couple of weeks ago when I was in London. There's a bottle shop that I go to, and every now and again they get some Canadian beers in. So, yeah, cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's actually kind of exciting to have you on here so you can enjoy this with us.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And speaking of being overexcited, we've also got Greg. How are you doing tonight, Greg?
You're right about being excited. My dog just licked my nipple. I don't know why. I don't have food there, but she just did it. Now it's wet, and I feel all weird and goopy. How are you, Nick?
Not as excited as you are right now, apparently.
That sounded like there was a J in there. I'm just throwing that out there.
Silent G, maybe, like as in Greg?
Yes, let's go with that explanation. Next person.
All right. Next. All right, so we've also got always last, it seems. We've got Ash from Welland. Mr. Sexton. How are you doing? I'm distracted.
Whatever. I never really know how to follow up with Greg, so he sort of sets the table, and I just fucking ignore it. he's a hot mess to follow, so I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Nice. All right, so moving right along, let's get over to the beer history, and we don't really need to go into a huge amount of detail considering we looked at Ransack the Universe on this channel on Beer Analysis once already. We did the Ransack the Universe. I just said that. Collective Arts. We've done Collective Arts already. We looked at Ransack the Universe was it late last year or earlier this year?
We tried to do another Collective Arts beer recently as well, but somebody thought they could get it and they couldn't get it.
Somebody thought they could get it and wound up. I came home and it was already sold out here. Life in the Clouds. But let's not dwell on that, mister. I had to drive to the LCBO at 9 o'clock to get 8 o'clock.
I made it, man. I made it, goddammit.
Yeah, you're here, and that's why we're late. Actually, no, you're like Greg only joined like 2 minutes before you got back. Nice. I'm not even kidding.
There we go.
All right.
I had manly business to attend to.
All right, so yeah, sure. And for a quick recap, Collective Arts Brewing was founded in summer of 2013 by Matt Johnson and Bob Russell, along with brewmaster Ryan Morrow and contract brewing space thanks to Nickelbrook Brewing. Collective Arts introduced their first beer, Rhyme and Reason, Extra Pale Ale, on September 9th, 2013. In 2014, they jointly opened the Cooperative Arts and Science Brewery with Nickelbrook at the former Lakeport Brewing Facility in Hamilton, Ontario. And I forget what's the refinery district or something along the line. I got it written down somewhere. Anyway, so in 2017, Collective Arts agreed to buy out Nickelbrook's remaining shares in the brewery, and following this, were able to expand production and distribution across Canada and into the U.S. So Collective Arts is also notable for supporting local arts community, featuring artwork from local artists prominently on the labels of their cans. I'm pretty sure every one of us has got a different label, is at least. I know Craig was talking about the label there a second ago, but mine says artist Joe Anderson, Loomy Island, Washington, United States. And you can actually go see the entire series at collectiveartsbrewing.com/series9 for my cans anyway. So it's actually written there on the side.
I've got a relatively creepy snake lady on mine. kind of weird
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
It's almost like 50s or something.
Shout out to Allison Bamcat of Los Angeles.
Nice. I didn't really realize the arts were so wide-reaching. I thought it was just mainly local artists.
I've seen stuff from like Europe and shit on their cans, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's yours say, Craig?
Keep in mind you're muted.
Greg or Craig?
Yeah, Craig.
Both.
Oh.
Craig
I'm
first
curious.
because he's better.
Well, he's in
Really?
the UK. I'm kind of curious what his says if he's got an older one.
Still trying to. Well, that's the artwork I've got. I don't know if that's the same as yours, Redbeard.
Well, it says right next to the artwork who made it.
Trying to see where it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, Kathy Hook. Was it Hook? P?
Mm.
I don't know. It's got that kind of thing on it.
Anyway,
Interesting.
all right. So,
That looks great here.
all right. So let's move along. Most recently, Collective Arts successfully hosted the first Liquid Arts Festival at the brewery in June of 2018, which featured international art and music as well as beers from 50 breweries across Canada and around the world. For the fest, they also brewed Redbeard's all-time favorite Juice Bomb, Liquid Arts Fest Milkshake IPA. So, Collective Arts now has a core lineup of 10 beers, including Lunch Money Blonde Ale, Life in the Clouds Hazy IPA, Radio the Mothership, Imperial IPA, Mash Up the Jam Sour, and more. I think it was just recently that Life in the Clouds was added to the existing lineup. I'm not going to list them all.
Mash Up the Jam's pretty good too. I think that both those ones kind of got added at the same time.
I think I tried Mash Up the Jam at the fest, at the Rhino Fest, and I know I had Lunch Money at Kelsey's across the street from where Greg is.
Lunch Money's been out for a little while now.
When I borrowed Agnes for the afternoon. Or rather, she borrowed me. Anyway.
That's right. It was her pleasure,
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah. There's definitely that. Anyway, so Rhyme and Reason Citra Pale Ale is a 5.7% ABV, 55 IBU American Pale Ale brewed with Citra and Centennial hops for flavor, German Magnum hops for bittering, and dry hopped with Citra, Centennial, Chinook, and Simcoe. Malts used are pale, crystal, carafoam, and toasted wheat flakes. Also notable is that the beer recently, in May or so, Collective Arts changed the name from Extra Pale Ale to Citra Pale Ale right there on the side. And I think, Craig, if you look at your can, yours still says Extra, doesn't it? There's no mention of the recipe being changed, so we'll go with that.
Pretty sure, my theory is they just wanted more people to know about the Citra because Citra is such a prominent, popular hop these days, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in everything that's tasty about IPAs these days. Anyway, let's move along. Actually, while I keep talking there, Redbeard, you can go right ahead. What's your history with Rhyme and Reason?
I want to say the first time I ever had it was before my palate shift happened, and I was not a fan at all. But ever since the palate shift, it is one of my go-to beers. I have drank a lot of this stuff, and when it's within a month or so, maybe even 2 months, it's still really, really nice and hoppy and vibrant. I love this beer. It's really, really good.
Nice.
Love it.
You said your can was from June, wasn't it? It's the same age as mine.
We didn't determine. I'm 727 on the time on mine. What's your time?
727, 1150. So mine's might be a little newer than yours, by
there you go. There you got me beat.
All right, and Craig, I'm assuming you don't have any history with this beer.
No history, which is good. So it's canned on April, so 16th of April. Do you want a time?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
doesn't matter at all.
For shits and giggles, 21:26. So yeah, well, there you go.
Nice. All right, and Craig, what's your history on this?
I've actually had this quite a few times. I think it's only... Go away, Doug. I think it's only been available for 2 or 3 years now at this point, and it used to come in 6-packs, and it was actually quite cheap for a 6-pack for a while. It was, I think, under $13. Good deal. And yeah, this is really... I don't know. I've had this probably about 20 times or something like that. It's really good. It's one of the go-to sort of was gonna say like a light pale ale, but it's really not. It's really technically a strong beer. So I don't know. It's a go-to strong pale ale for me, but I don't want to go too strong.
It's really almost like IPA territory as far as the overall flavor goes.
It's basically like a light IPA kind of, and yeah, no, but I really enjoy it. I actually think, I mean, it's been a while since I've done them side by side or anything, but I actually think I enjoy this more than I do their IPA, the Ransack the Universe. No, not the New England. That's kind of a different style, but Ransack the Universe is kind of similar, but I think this one's actually a little bit better.
Again, I find if they're both really fresh, Ransack I find has just a bit more of that hoppy to it. I don't know, but they're both damn good. Collective Arts makes good IPA kind of style.
Yeah,
they're very good at that.
I don't think I've had too many from them that were bad. I think probably the worst one was Liquid Fart Fest.
You shut your mouth. Randomly, IPA number 6 is actually coming out. I think it was August that's being released.
Oh boy.
Collective Arts just released like their upcoming beers. They have a subscription thing too.
They actually announced it on the upcoming beers. I saw something about that on their website, but I didn't read it.
And also, randomly talking about Collective Arts, they now have a subscription service thing where you can pay so much money, and I think you get every second month you get 4 beers, and they're like 4 beers that you have to kind of go to the brewery to get. So that's kind of cool. I'm not sure about the price, but.
Anyway, we're getting kind of off topic here. Let's go over to Ash, who's been drinking this all day.
We're still talking beer.
I haven't been drinking this all day. I have been drinking all day. My day off. Fuck, whatever.
Hey, enjoy it.
So
Finish the patio.
I have had quite a bit of this beer because as a home brewer, I'm on a constant search of pry-off tops of beers that I actually want to drink. So I ended up buying a crap ton of 6-packs of this for the sole purpose of drinking tasty beer and then getting the bottles that I can reuse for my home brew. So I've only tapped it like 2 times, but I've probably had in excess of like over 150 of these beers.
I completely forgot that this stuff was actually in. I don't think. Can you still get it in bottles?
I don't think so. So I can't find it. So actually, this is my first time having it in a can, and I think because it's in a can, it's a little bit fresher than what I've had in the bottles before. So I think my experience tonight is a little bit better than what I've had it in the past. So yeah, a beer I enjoy.
Of course, you're having it like a week old too, right?
Yeah, it's fresh as fuck. So
what's the time on it?
Oh yeah,
what's the time on yours?
12:56 to Greg's 1:50.
Yeah, we established Greg has
Greg has
1:11. Mine is 15 minutes younger than yours.
The order is Greg, Ashley, Nick, me, and then Craig. As far as freshness, I'm second to last. I feel bad now.
It's probably going to be pretty nice anyway, no matter who drinks it.
That's like Nick always says: the younger, the better.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, moving right along to my here. I'm pretty sure I've had it more than this, but the only time I ever tapped it in on Untapped, I've never reviewed it for my channel, but I had it on Untapped back in December of 2015. Gave it a 3.75 out of 5, so that's really no surprise to anybody here. I thought it was a really nice beer, great hop taste, not a lot to it, but just a decent, solid beer. And looking at my photo on Untapped, I took a picture of a bottle, so I must have bought like a 6-pack at the time. Of course, I'm already into the beer, so I'm burping. Sorry about that.
You should be.
All right. So with my history aside, let's go over to the comments. We've been kind of neglecting the comments because it's not like we're expecting people to watch this crap. So go ahead, Ash.
Are you kidding me? This is like prime time entertainment, man. This is the shit. What else?
Nobody ever wants me to read the comments.
No one wants you to read the comments. So Chris on the 10th, check out his channel. Funny stuff. He's
if you haven't posted
profusely apologizing for not being on. Oh, he's so sorry he can't make it.
He was in Hamilton today.
He climbed
his apology is not accepted at all. That's just a horrible oversight.
So we will move on. Chris, you're here in spirit. We appreciate it. Raining on Your Parade. He couldn't get a can of Rhyme and Reason. It was on the shelf very recently, but Collective Art seems to be disappearing from his from what he can get. My tip to that is talk to your LCBO guy or girl, whoever they are at that location ordering. Get them to call their rep. Anyways, Chris seems to think I'm a rather sexy Welland mofo. That's awkward, but thank you.
Awkward but accurate.
Yeah, sure, I guess. You know what? Drunken one. Hello, sir. How are you doing tonight? I'm sure you're drinking some.
Hey, drunken one.
Making assumptions, terrible.
I am making assumptions because they're right. Because I am always right.
Oh well.
And then Redbeard just continuing giving Chris a hard time. You know, and that is what it is. Redbeard. No. Heyman. Oh, there we go, Jamie. Damn fine beer and some damn fine gentlemen here. Very professional. Cheers to you all. Thank you so much. Chris can't remember seeing Collective Arts.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yes, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it.
I just double checked it. It was actually in a bottle the first time I ever had it.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like I should review it again because I bet it's at least a bit different than it was. I don't know.
Chris is at the moment enjoying some Corona with a lime and salt. Does that make it a Goza? I don't know. I don't know. But other than that, that's pretty much it for all the intelligible.
Goza
All the intelligible conversation right there.
Yes. Oh, Drunken One. Drunken One brewed a clone of Yellow Rose from Lone Pint just today. Don't know Lone Pint, and I don't know what Yellow Rose is, but I'm sure you did a bang-up job. I hope you hit all of your numbers perfectly fine. We're
all very proud of you, Drunken One.
Wow. Why don't you guys fuck already?
Not even.
All right. So let's go back to the start here and take a look at what our final ratings are. And before you do, I'm gonna grab a notepad because nobody's here to do the math. I'm gonna have to fill in.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
somebody didn't show up. That's usually in charge of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Somebody could have got the beer in Hamilton.
Yeah. As far as I love this fucking beer. It's really, really good. Again, like I wish I was drinking what Ashley and Greg are drinking because this stuff I've had it that fresh before, and it's just it's still delicious now. But I'm gonna say I don't know. Again, it seems like more like an India Pale Ale to me. So I'm gonna go with a 7 for the style, and my personal enjoyment, I'm giving that a 9.
Nice.
I love it.
All right, and move over to Craig. What's your British opinion?
I mean, if this was brewed over here, it would probably be an Imperial Pale Ale, because that's Pale Ales over here are a lot kind of lower ABV. It's got a kind of although it's mid-April can, it still retained quite a lot of hop character. I mean, it's in a can, so that kind of helps. If this had been in a bottle, then it may have been a little bit more maltier than what I'm getting here now. There is a slight kind of, I'm getting a little bit of a kind of a piney edge to it. But also I'm getting kind of a, that hop greenness still, just a little bit coming through, even though it's in, canned in April. So that's quite impressive. I mean, yeah, like Redbeard said, I think this is more of a kind of it tastes more of a kind of a standard IPA rather than a pale ale to me. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I mean, I've had Ransack the Universe, but that was last June in the UK. That was on tap, and my memory's obviously very kind of hop tied and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of, it's not up there with that. I didn't expect it to be, but it's done a pretty good job considering it's a pale ale. So yeah, so my ratings then, I'm gonna give this overall for the style of a pale ale. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. And for my overall enjoyment, I'll give it a 3.75.
That's out of 5, or is that
3.75, which is like, what's that, 7.5?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so yeah, I was like, how did it went from
Like, wow.
the first rating you gave was out of 10, and then
Yeah,
it was
I
out
know.
of 5. And I was like,
yeah, but I can
like-
convert. Okay.
it just seemed weird to
Yeah,
me.
they had to go with the exchange rate and all that.
Yeah.
Anybody watching, if they're, I'm sure it's pretty all what Chris just said. Sorry about England today. I'm sure he didn't actually. I'm sure he meant the soccer, but I was going to say Craig's basically stop motion internet connection that's happening. Yeah, he's obviously a little far away.
Yeah. I know. I'm pretty good, but there you go.
Surprisingly, though, most of the times where you freeze, like usually if someone freezes, they freeze with the stupidest faces. You freeze with just normal kind of you don't have any weird fucking stills going on. It's pretty impressive. You should be proud. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful man, Craig. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, thank you.
Jeez, man.
That
All
is
right.
British eloquence. There we go.
All right. Moving right along to Greg. Speaking of eloquence.
Thank you, Nick. Well,
welcome.
as you'd expect, I will be very eloquent about this. This is a great beer as far as I'm concerned. Now, the only thing I will say about this is incredibly fresh, fresher than I've ever had it. And I actually think, wait, hold on. Guys, Joe's about to get really angry.
Oh.
Sorry, wrong button.
Oh my God, guys, he's going to say something that's not true. He's going to talk about his magical beer fridge. I'm so pissed off like Eric Cartman that I am.
Settle down, Joe. Settle down. So I'm gonna say, if I put this beer in my magical fridge for about 2 weeks or so, I think this would actually be better with a little bit of age because I almost feel it's too fresh, which I often feel a lot about of IPAs when it's only a few days old. I like to let it settle a little bit and mix and maybe get a little more maltiness to it. That being said, this is still really good. I still would just prefer it with a few weeks older than this. So in terms of the style, I'm going to give it an 8.5. It's pretty much up there for me with pale ales. I'd probably go a little higher if it wasn't so high alcohol because to me it's like almost like it is like somebody said earlier, it's basically IPA territory, which puts it in competition with a whole different group of beers. So 8.5, but my own personal enjoyment, even what I'm saying a little too fresh, I still give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's still fantastic. I've had ones before I'd probably give a 10 out of 10 too. But this one I'm trying right now, 9.5. I really, really like this. The only pale ale I like more than this is Canuck. No, that's not a pale ale. I do like Canuck more than this.
Really?
And well, it also has the added bonus of being a lot cheaper than this. So that's
a valid point.
325 a can. I can get Canuck for $2.25 a can if I buy it from the brewery. So
that's what it's that cheap at the brewery.
If you buy it by the case, it's $2.25 a can.
That's
insane. Otherwise, it's $2.80 a can. So that makes a difference. But that's not really what's coming into play here. I think in terms of taste, they're on pretty similar footing. I think I like Canuck a little bit more because it's a little more drinkable for a pale ale. Like I can drink a bunch of them by the pool, whereas this one,
I'll give you that. Like
I'll get drunk half a percentage faster.
Myself, I find this one to be more tasty, but I would say the Canuck Pale Ale is kind of closer to what a pale, like this one's more IPA. The Canuck Pale Ale is more of a pale ale, so in that sense. But if I'm comparing them, which one I think I like this one a bit better myself.
I used to actually like this in the 6-pack format because I felt with bottles I could buy 6 of them and drink 6 of them in a night, and then maybe not be able to perform sexually that night, but still. Plus drink a little wine.
That's how you rate your beers ultimately, is if you can still get an erection after 6 of them.
There's no rhyme or reason why you shouldn't.
Oh, you got to dish out the pale ale.
It'd be a hell of a process.
Anyways,
let's finish the thought, Greg.
I quite like this.
Cool, yeah, it seems like you do.
8.5, 9.5.
All right.
It's all good.
Nice. How do I follow this up, Nick?
I don't know how you follow that up. I mean, Greg's just such a class act.
How many
sometimes.
beers does it take him before he can't get an erection? Please tell us.
Okay, depends on the beer.
Go. Yeah, Ashley, go. Follow up the erection thing. Come on.
No, my wife's probably watching this. So, the biggest difference, and to sort of go back to what Greg was saying and what everyone else is saying, this one does have a little bit more of a malt forwardness that you wouldn't expect from a pale ale. They definitely added a little bit more of the crystal malts that you would expect in an IPA to add that sweetness to cut the bitterness. so on and so forth. That really, from a pale ale, you're not really expecting all that much. You know, you're expecting like a very basic the grain bill and not a whole lot else to it except for, you know, some hot punchiness. That said, this one does have a little bit more malt sweetness. The aroma is fantastic. I love the aroma on this. You know, fresh. It's got like a sweet orange aroma to it. The pininess that Craig picked up on. I'm getting some pininess on the back. Drink's really easy. I think you mentioned that there's some wheat in here as well, which gives to the bottom. The head retention was fantastic. Overall, this is a really fantastic beer. It's funny. I remember this. You know, when I was drinking it in the bottles, I remember it being a little bit sweeter, and I think maybe just because I'm drinking it a lot fresher, you know, the hops are popping a little bit more. Overall, though, you know, this is a fantastic beer. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. I'm going to say style-wise, it's an 8 out of 10 for me, just because, you know, it is a touch too sweet for a pale ale, and it's obviously a little bit too high on the ABV. But overall enjoyment, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. I really like this.
I might have to change my score. I just cracked open another bottle, and it was canned 2 minutes after the. Sorry, It was canned 2 minutes after the other one, so it might be.
That's a world of difference right there.
World of difference. So let me know before I do my math.
Oh yeah, solid text.
You're holding this up.
It was. God, yeah. Go talk. I'm done. My mouth has stopped working.
I gotta say that I am really enjoying this, and I gotta say the other thing I gotta say is that there's hardly anything I've had from Collective Arts that really I can't say I don't like a lot. It's just these guys are a solid brewery and probably one of the best in Canada at this point. I find with this particular beer, I do get what Ashley's saying about how the sweetness from the malt does cut into the bitterness quite a bit. They call this 55 IBUs. It certainly doesn't drink like it's 55 IBUs. It does have a bit more hop content than you would expect for a pale ale, but I kind of expect that from something calling it an American pale ale, where it's like usually a bit more hop forward than your typical like a British pale ale would be.
Citra pale ale.
Well, yeah, but that Citra pale ale is just pale ale plus Citra. It doesn't mean anything. I do get apricot, grapefruit, and a little bit of passion fruit in the flavor. There's a lingering pine resin finish, but it doesn't taste awful or it doesn't taste out of place. It's got a nice, pithy, creamy, medium, satisfying body. And I'm finding I'm actually really enjoying this, and this is a solid beer. I would definitely sit down and enjoy a 6-pack like some of you guys probably are, except for maybe Craig, but still. Yeah, I really do enjoy this, and I'd say that I'm going to give this out of the style. I kind of consider this to be an American pale ale. So based on all the American pale ales I've had before, it really hits the mark. I'm going to give it a 9 for style, and 8 overall. I'm really enjoying this.
Okay, so you're the one who has to do all the calculations now. So I guess Ashley, comments.
Tabulating the computers.
I will jump over to the comments.
Apparently, Lee wants us to hurry up. Apparently, we got to hurry up.
Well, Lee can wait. Lee, we love you, but you know, great things take time.
I don't know.
So we're working our way towards it. You know, just like how Redbeard likes to stroke the cork on those bottles. You know, great things take time. So, raining on your parade, he's
stroking.
He's had 2 IPAs from Collective Arts, Ransack and Life in the Clouds. I will say they are both very solid IPAs. He was very impressed. Life in the Clouds, very juicy, and can sit next to any American IPA. Overall, very solid. Let's see. Yeah, Lee, just saying, wrap it up. Chris on the 10th gives this beer a 7 semi-hard penises out of 10. Thank you. That's a visual we do not need. Matt DRP, when's the after chat? Well, right after.
Who would have guessed?
Probably after this one.
Chris is jumping the shark. He's like, what's next week's beer? Hold on. Lee, this beer gets an I don't remember having it from me, so wrap it up. Wait, I had it 3 years ago, 3.75 out of 5. So on our scale, 7.5 out of 10. And I did crunch the numbers, Lee, so fuck it. That's it.
So talking about next week's beer, does anyone have next week's beer? Like, did anyone buy it today by accident?
Maybe ahead of time, maybe in preparation.
Yeah, if you bought it enough in advance that it was in stock at your LCBO.
I may already have next week's beer. I could go grab it right now and show it. Do you have it, Nick, on you? Do you have one?
Yes, I have it on, but I'm not going to do the great reveal until we get to the comments afterwards because we haven't done the. So, is there any more comments, or is that it?
That is it, my friend.
All right, we'll stall a little bit.
What? Okay, hold on. There was some back and forth about England losing the soccer game tonight, and we're all sending our condolences to Craig out in the UK because he's probably feeling a little down right now.
Yeah, because like a soccer team losing that's a great reason to feel down and disheartened and just
Red.
Dude, you're not European. You don't understand what it's like for them. It's like losing your penis.
I don't care, really. It's just a sport. You're not on the team. You weren't playing. What does it matter?
I agree. I'm not. That's why I'm not into any sort of sports ball. Unless the Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup, then it's like, yeah, guys, I was a fan the whole time. Yeah, I want a party too.
Yeah, but does that really qualify in the sports ball category? Would they have a puck?
It's a ball. It's just a flattened ball.
Valid point.
It's been sandwiched.
Puck's on you.
Hockey was invented by a flat earther.
Fun fact: I had a Toronto Maple Leaf in the car with me today at work.
Which one?
Zach Hyman. Do you know who that is?
His name is Hyman.
I'm sure I've run into him once or twice.
How are you able to not get in some kind of make him want to kill you with his last name being Hyman? Hyman.
Well, first of all, I know I've known his uncle for a while who also has the same name, so I'm used to I've gotten over the laughing factor. Also, he's twice the size of me, so I'm not about to make fun of him because he kicked my ass real fast.
Fair enough. It's a valid point.
Just to wrap it up too, Lee, he doesn't give a fuck about England. And
does Lee give a fuck about anything though?
No, he's a nihilist. As per the great the great movie The Big Lebowski, he's a nihilist. He cares about nothing.
You believe in nothing, Lebowski. Because of your Johnson.
It's not fair. Who's the fucking nihilist here? All right, so the tonight's scores, of course, are brought to you by
MS Paint.
Oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
On the 10th. And I'm hoping at some point he's going to add more content because y'all should subscribe to his channel. I love his vlogs. He's great at doing the Moo Quickies, and eventually he'll buy the same beer as we buy. Anyway, so moving it along, here's our ratings for the night.
Yeah.
Rhyme and Reason. Style is 8.1, and overall is 8.5. This is probably the best thing we've drank since MGD.
I was gonna say it's not quite MGD, but it's.
I gotta say, Nick, that's some decent, off the cuff, quick photo paint work you just did there.
A lot of Photoshop work. My MS Paint.
It's not bad, man. Not bad.
Anyway, all right. So let's go back to the final comments and see if we hear from anybody.
Let's see here. Chris was saying that Nick has 777 subs. Must be his lucky day. He's thanking us for the shout-outs. And I think, I don't know what Lee's calling crazy. Us, comments, himself. It was just a one-liner crazy, so there we go.
The whole world's gone crazy, man.
Yes. Take from that what you need. That's all we got.
Down in front. All right, so I heard that somebody had asked what this week's beer is.
Next week's.
Next week's beer. Next week, we're going to take a look at something closer to my home. Moosehead's Radler.
Great.
Yay.
Yay!
Redbeard's already got one because he bought next week's beer instead of this week's beer. So it all depends. Chances are you're working next week, aren't you?
It's entirely possible. I don't know yet, though.
That would be funny if you did.
Hey, man, I haven't reviewed it. I'll have a beer to review, just like that fucking the Omegang Hennepin stuff there that I had and couldn't make it for. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well,
right away, I just
might have been
discovered.
pricey, but Hennepin was great, though.
Just discovered why Chris is not. I wasn't a fan myself because it's Farmhouse Stays On. I fucking hate that style. But Chris, I just realized why he hasn't been posting on his channel. He's putting random Tragically Hip covers up on Facebook.
Ah, okay, that's the videos he's doing, but he can't do it because copyright strike.
Yeah.
Can't do it because of YouTube monetization.
You know what though? I think that if he put that video on his channel, it's just him. It's him with his guitar singing himself. I don't think YouTube would pick that up as a copy strike. That's fair. That's fair use right there, 100%.
You'd be surprised what YouTube would be an asshole about.
But at the same time, though,
it's complete bullshit right now.
He could dispute that, and there's no copy strike. If it's him covering a song with his guitar and his voice, that's completely within the fair use. Completely.
Yeah, and you might win after YouTube just suspends your video for 2 or 3 weeks.
No, man. I've had shit get claimed on my video, and you just dispute it. It's my content within, I'm going to say, a maximum of 1 week. But yeah, what the hell was that, Nick? Weird lights on your fucking screen there?
Oh, it's just a light that I got on my desk. Anyway.
Oh, it was weird and random. Okay.
Yeah, like Lee just said in the comments, how little you know.
Chris is. I'm so good. Chris is so good. They strike him all the time. Awesome.
Yeah, Lee, I saw a post on Facebook today. He got some of his old episodes of "They Must Be Destroyed on Site" tagged. Anyway, let's go to the after chat because Chris is getting antsy.
Everybody, we're losing it.
So yeah, next week, tune in next week for Moosehead's Radler. I'm actually really excited about this because it's my hometown brewery and I get to write the history on it.
Yay!
All right, we'll catch you in a few minutes on the after chat. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, folks.
Bye.
Finish.
Beep beep.
There goes a motorcycle.
Are you serious?
Yes,
That's hilarious. Nick just left the fucking thing live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We can do whatever we want, and it's nice and legal.
Oh,
Is there any curling on at the moment?
You burn in hell right now. I just got Nick.
Babe, can you show your boobs on the live chat? No.
Let's just talk about penis.
Oh, we can talk about penis.
Tripod.
Has anyone noticed how much penis Nick has liked lately? He just wants them all.
I just messaged him on the 101. Yeah,